to wait for another season. It's over.
When we wake up, we stay up. Got no time to waste. On the ground, we stay up. Can't let nobody face us. We on the way to lead out. They coming for us. Which street stop to us? Nothing's impossible. That's why they call us dreamers. That's why they call us dreamers.
Hey dreamers! It's me, TahrifaTheDreamer, back with another video for you. Today's video, I'm going to give you some of my Netflix recommendations of my favorite TV series. Number 10, How to Get Away with Murder. So, this is an ABC show. There's 6 seasons. It's a drama. So, how I describe it is like this lawyer lady. She's a professor. She got a bunch of students in her law class. And she takes a group of them to be like her little proteges. And they end up killing a bunch of people and covering it up. And throughout the seasons, they kill more and more people. And they continue to cover it up. It's a very serious show. You have to pay attention. You have to follow up. Disclaimer, do not watch this show with your kids. Don't. If you do, you have a lot of explaining to do. My favorite actors in this show are Viola Davis, Cicely Tyson, and Aja Naomi King. Number 9 is The Good Witch. Now this show, for me, is just a feel-good show. It's a Hallmark fantasy show. It's basically about this lady. Her name is Cassie, and everybody in the town just really loves her. She's a really nice lady. She owns a book shop or a novelty shop, and she sells that stuff. Everybody comes to her. She lives in a small town. The show just follows this lady being the town guru and her daughter in school. And her husband actually died. And you know, he had a son who got married, and then the new neighbor comes in with his son, and like they become a family, and everything's just perfect. Even though there are ups and downs, like it always ends with a positive thing, and everyone's just nice to her. But I like it because it's just a show. If you're feeling down, it's just to lift you up, and everything's just happy, airy, perfect on this show. And I think sometimes you need a little escape without any drama, without any triggering emotions. And that show does that for me. So I just like to watch it to bring my mood up. And my favorite actress on that show is Catherine Bell. She's a star. Haley Madison, she's the cutest. I remembered her from Drake and Josh, a Christmas movie from when I was a kid, and I loved her from since then. And James Denton, who is Cassie's new boo. Number 8 is Money Heist or La Casa de Papel. So that's one of my favorite shows. Unexpectedly. One, because it's a Spanish show and I love the Spanish language. So I watch it in Espanol. That helps me like keep up to date with my Spanish. This show has 4 parts. I don't know how to count the seasons, but it's 4 parts on Netflix. And that show was just crazy, wild, drama, wonderfulness. It's basically about a group of these people in Spain, these criminals, planning to rob the house that they print money in. And they show you all the ups and downs, the plannings, the murders, the plan going crazy, the loyalty that they have for each other, the crazy things that they do in their past, and going through robbery. And it's just a crazy, lovely show. And the characters are fiery. Especially if you watch it in Spanish, you get the full, feeling of the characters. And it's just wild. I like high shows. If you like high shows, you won't like this one. The only thing I would say though is there's a lot of violence. If violence is triggering to you, that's not for you. And maybe not watch it with your kids, because you also will have to answer a lot of questions. My favorite character on the show is Tokyo, played by Ursula Corbero, and Alvaro Morte, that's Professor, and Miguel Oran, who plays Rio, who's Tokyo's boyfriend on the show. And the vibe is just when you want to feel pumped, and for, you know, when you have a group setting, that's a good show to watch, and you could just discuss all the things that you would do differently, or if you were in their shoes, you know, how the robbery would really go. Number 7 is Dear White People. Has 3 volumes. In Dear White People, it's about Samantha. She's half black, half white. She goes to college and learns a lot about being black in society. And she has a radio show talking about issues after this party that had blackface in it. She had to, you know, address it, and then things go on from there. So they address a lot of social issues in that show, and they show you like college life. I got put onto that show a few years back, and it was not what I expected. So that show, honey child, you learn a lot. I think I learned a lot personally because I didn't grow up in America, so a lot of the Black American history, I picked up a few pieces from that show, and it just shows you, you know, what we have to deal with as black people. And it's just a good show to just show you the minds of black people, the minds of college students, and the difficulties that they have to go through, and the friendships in the show and how they explore the friendships. That's was dope to me too. This show was definitely an advocate. My favorite actors from this show are Logan Browning, she's a star, she plays Samantha, Antoinette Robertson, and Ashley Blaine Featherson, she's my favorite, she plays Joelle. Number 6 is The Blacklist, or Mr. Reddington show, because this show is all about him. But it's an NBC crime show. There are about 7 seasons, and that show is wild. Mr. Reddington is this infamous criminal. He is on the FBI's most wanted list. He's been on the FBI's most wanted list. And he shows up on the first day of FBI agent Elizabeth Keene, and he turns her life upside down. So he specifically asks for her, and then they start working together to solve the crimes of the people on the blacklist. So they end up catching or killing all the criminals on this list that he made of all the most dangerous criminals that he knows and, you know, he has access to. And it's like a secret deal that Mr. Reddington has with the FBI, and it goes off the wire. He has people for everything. His cleaning lady, Mr. Kaplan, she be pulling out the most wonderful magic tricks. But this show, if you like crime shows and crime solving and like the behind the scenes of heists and etc, I like shows that show you both sides. Like they show you the crime fighting, and they show you how, you know, the people get away with this stuff. I love the contrast, so I like shows like that. If you like shows like that, then you watch Blacklist. And it's a show you can watch over and over and pick up all the things that you missed in the earlier seasons. So that show is just like, if you want to binge, that's a show to watch. And it's safe to watch with your kids, for the most part. My favorite actress from that show is Mr. Reddington, played by James Spader. Elizabeth Keene is played by Megan Boone, and Aram is played by Amir Arison. The next show is Gossip Girl from CW. Now this show is an absolute classic. I feel like I get my most girly girl vibes from that show. I love that show growing up, and I caught up on it recently. Like I rewatched it recently, and it's just a really wonderful show. Like you see the growth from when you start high school to when you finish high school, and the little lessons that you learn in between, they're reiterated in this show. And who doesn't like to sit and watch Blake Lively do her thing? It has 6 seasons, it's a drama. It's a bit for the younger audience, but I really enjoyed it, and it's a nice throwback binge vibe. Of course, my favorite actress in that show is Blake Lively. Blair Waldorf is played by Leighton Meester. I feel like inside, deep down, I'm Blair. I'm just missing my headbands and my clothes. And the very mysterious Penn Badgley. Number 4 is The Good Place, the NBC show with Kristen Bell as this star. I love Kristen Bell. She could be sitting and staring at a wall and I would watch her because she's amazing and I love her and she's a good human. But yeah, this show is about about 4 or 5 people that died and went to the good place. It's like heaven, but not really. So they talk about a lot of philosophical issues, and you know, they deal with stuff like that. So Eleanor wasn't the best human being, right? And she somehow ended up in the good place. So she was on her journey of figuring out why she ended up there, and if she wanted to tell anybody that she don't belong there. She tries to make friends. It just goes a hot mess. And she got the smartest mouth, and there's a trick in every season of the show. As soon as you think you figured the show out, as soon as you think like you know what's going on, they switch it up on you and you gotta figure it out from the beginning. It's a nice show. It's a funny show. So my favorite actors from that show are Kristen Bell, she's one of my favorite actresses, period. Ted Danson, he is like the architect of the neighborhood that they live in, the good place. So like he's like their leader. He's just there to guide them throughout the good place. And then JD, who is William Jackson Harbour, and his character is just hilarious. He was an ethics professor and he's just too good for his own self. Like he's weird. You know those people who are too good and you're concerned for them? He's one of those. So yeah, this is just a sitcom. It has 4 seasons and they had to end it. I have not seen the last season yet. I'm saving it for, you know, when I'm mentally ready to say goodbye to it. I'm probably gonna watch it over, but I'm saving the last season for a special time. But the rest of the seasons are really good, because I know I'm gonna cry. Number 3 is Jane the Virgin, and this is a CW show. I was one of the people that started watching it from the beginning. I was there when they were like advertising it, and I was like, this show is absolutely for me. Jane Villanueva is a waitress at a hotel, or a hotel servant, whatever you want to call it. She is a virgin, and she lives with her mom and her grandma. Her grandpa died. Her mom didn't tell her who her father was. It was just 3 of them living, you know, doing what they gotta do. And she went to get like her checkup, and this doctor put a whole baby in her. But it turns out that the guy whose baby it was a crush that she had earlier on. And he's also the owner of the hotel that she works at, son. So, and he has a wife, by the way, who's trying to have a baby with him. So, all of that had to play out. And she had a fiance at the time. So she's like, she was pregnant with this stranger's baby, and she have a fiance who she's never slept with. So they navigate that whole situation. She find out who her dad is, and this show is like a roller coaster of emotions. There's murder in this show. There's betrayal in this show. There's crazy people in this show. People putting on different, like changing their faces. If you like drama, if you like, it's a telenovela. It's really touching in the heart, and she keeps her baby. So you get to see that experience. You see that experience between her and her baby daddy, and her fiance, and how they all navigate that show. So Jane Villanueva is played by Gina Rodriguez, and I love her. She's an amazing actress as well. And her baby daddy, Raphael, is played by Justin Baldoni, who's a sweetheart and a good human in life, in real life. And Jaime Camille, who plays Rogelio. And Rogelio brings all the drama to this show. Rogelio is a whole mood. Like, he just be cracking me up. So this is a nice show. You can watch a show with your kids, and you could explain a lot to them. Like, it's a nice way it's to introduce them to certain topics without being like overbearing and giving them too much information too young. So yeah, love this show. And I cried. Every time Jane cries, she cries a lot. Every time she cries, I cry, because I am Jane. Deep down. Number 2 is Lucifer. Wait a minute, did I lose you? Come back. Hold on. I know. Why are you watching a show with a devil name? But it's like, okay, well, I was one of those people that was like, I never watched another Lucifer show. You feel it says. And it's like, just watch it and see. It's like, take the religion out of it, or leave the religion into it. I am a person who's very open-minded, and I like to learn as much as possible. So it's like, this gives you a different perspective on the whole Christianity. And if you are, you know, a devout Christian, this should not change your relationship with Lucifer, the real Lucifer. But, or whatever. But yeah, the show is a crime show. Like, they be solving murders on this show, which I did not expect. But yeah, so Detective Chloe Decker, she was an actress. Now she's a cop. Her dad was murdered. He was a cop. She became a cop. And Lucifer came back from hell and to Los Angeles. And he met this Chloe woman, and he put himself into her life, and he helps her like solve murders. And then like his angel brothers and sisters come visit him, and they kind of explore their version of the Bible and Christianity and those kind of stuff. And basically Lucifer is hilarious. Lucifer is kind of cute, but Lucifer is hilarious. And this show is a good crime show. Like, if you like crime show, it's a good crime show. But it's a funny crime show. Like, they solve crimes, but it's funny. Lucifer is funny. He's a narcissist, and the way he just goes about telling people he's a devil and nobody believes him, that's also funny. And there's this therapist, Linda, and his best friend, Mazgi, and she's a demon. It sounds so like otherworldly, but it's really just regular people living their life, and he just happens to be the devil. So if you're willing to be open-minded about it, take a look. You might like it. It might be funny, and you could take your religion out of it. Lucifer is played by Tom Ellis. Detective Decker is played by Lauren German. And Lucifer's older brother, Amenadiel, is played by D.B. Woodside. Chocolate goodness. It's really funny. And he's just a coolest. Like, he's so not accustomed to life on Earth, and he's just navigating that and learning as he goes as well. Number one, I think my most recommendable show is Dynasty, a CW show, but Netflix keeping it on and popping. This show is about this rich family. So there's a rich family in Atlanta. They're like millionaires or millionaires or whatever. They have companies, Carrington companies, and their name is Carrington. They're the Carringtons. The Carrington Empire. So there's the dad, Blake Carrington. So the dad gets remarried to Crystal, and they're not having it. They don't like her. She's really young, and they think she's a gold digger. But yeah. So the first Crystal, because every season there's a new Crystal. I don't be getting it, but whatever. But it's kind of interesting to see who the next Crystal gonna be. They just replace people. Like, I'm not sure, you probably don't know if you're gonna have a job next week or not, because they just replace people like crazy. The daughter, Fallon Carrington, she wants to be the new leader. She wants to take control and take it in her direction, and nobody's studying her. Nobody taking she on, and she just ranting and raving, I want to be the next, I want to be the next, and nobody cares. So she has to fight her way to become the powerful, successful woman that she wants to be. And she has all the struggles. She's low-key sleeping with the chauffeur, the brother or the son, Stephen Carrington. He a mess. He be traveling the world. He be confused about what his purpose is. He's trying to find himself, and he ends up in a lot of trouble. And Fallon, comes to the rescue and is there for her brother. And their mom, she comes in later, right? I feel like the mother, Mrs. Carrington, she's just a gold digger to me. Like, she just looking for her coin, and nobody want to give her her coin. So she doing all these crazy behind the scenes involving our people, disloyal things to get her coins from the Carrington family, because she feel like they abandoned her. People are murdered and it's covered up. People aren't who they say they are. A whole mixed match soap opera situation. And so far it has 3 seasons, but it feels like 25 because so much happens in one episode. I don't think you should watch this with the kids either. This is for you to just get your popcorn and your wine and just like binge. It's really good. You finish it and it's like, oh, I have to wait for another season. It's over. Let's make it as my favorite thing to watch on this show. So I would say she's a star. She plays Fallon. Grant Snow plays her daddy Blake, and Robert Christopher Riley plays Culhane, who is the chauffeur in the beginning seasons.
Hey guys, that was it for my Netflix recommendations top 10. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up below. Write in the comments if you're going to check out any of the shows. If you have seen, leave your own recommendations. I make videos on Tuesdays and Saturdays, so click the bell next to the subscribe buttons for post notifications to see more of my videos. Okay, that's all. Okay, bye.